Hello, my name is Matisse Cavodi. I'd like to welcome guys to my channel. Today we're going to cover some classic old school Avengers issues. These came out in 1977. We're talking about Avengers 158 to 160, and they're pretty interesting. First, we have the first confrontation between Wonder Man and the Vision. We have the introduction of Graviton, and then we have Grim Reaper, who's Wonder Man's brother, sort of freaking out about the situation that his brother's back, and Vision is sort of his brother, but he's an aberration, and he's sort of pissed off. And I'm getting ahead of myself, but let's get into 158 because all these issues, like if you haven't read them, they're a real blast. So the big issue between Vision and Wonder Man is that I'm gonna summarize this very briefly. Wonder Man, when he dies, a very noble death trying to save the Avengers from an evil plan of Baron Zemo Sr. Iron Man records his mind, his personality, his brainwaves on this 1960s computer cartridge, whatever. Thing is, that information was used by Ultron when he created Vision. He just uploaded Wonder Man's brainwaves into the synthesoid, something like that they're called. He's not an android or robot, he's a synthesoid. Everything was just fine because Wonder Man went and died. Vision sort of falls in love with the Scarlet Witch, because basically both of these guys have the same personality, and everything was fine up until the point when Wonder Man comes back. So Vision's dealing with some major identity issues. And I guess I would too. And he's sort of really jealous of the early relationship between Wonder Man and Scarlet Witch as friends, because Vision was just really in love with Scarlet Witch. During this time, he was sort of starting to court her. He wanted to start a relationship. So he got crazy jealous every time he saw Scarlet Witch and Wonder Man hanging out. And this is how this issue starts. Vision just flips out seeing both of these characters together, and they start a battle in the Avengers Mansion, destroying a ton of 1970s tech. Millions and millions of dollars are being destroyed because these guys start a punch out. Obviously, both of these characters are insanely powerful. If I would be Tony Stark, because he's obviously the one paying for all this, and you destroy a whole lab, a computer room and lab, I would just lose my shit. I was like, you two guys get off the team. So, cut to the introduction of Graviton. I just love this character. He's so stupid, because the main thing with Graviton is he's insanely powerful. Every time he pops up, he most of the time he needs followers, or he coerces people to follow him. I guess he has he's very insecure, and he has validation issues. A lot of times he's gonna force a woman to love him and stuff like that. And he has a thing for flying cities. He just picks up gigantic pieces of land and starts flying around, menacing the rest of the world. So he's insanely powerful, as I said before. He's sort of like the equivalent of Magneto for the Avengers. But the thing is, he never knows what to do once he defeat the Avengers. He never has a plan. And this is sort of a pretty interesting story arc that's going to happen way down the line with the Thunderbolts, is that Graviton just doesn't know what to do with his powers. He also is going to pop up quite a bit in the West Coast Avengers series, Avengers Unplugged. But he was the main villain to the Thunderbolts. He had some pretty awesome story arcs in that series. So Graviton so easily is able to dispose of the Avengers. What I was telling you guys, he's so powerful, he just lifts up these massive portions of land and uses this as his flying base. And he always uses his powers pretty effortlessly. You're never going to see his powers put a strain on them. Even though there's quite a few stories where his powers just sort of turn on him and he just falls into a black hole and stuff like that. So after the Avengers are able to defeat Graviton, Grim Reaper arrives, and Grim Reaper is Wonder Man's brother. He really hated Vision because he thought he was like an aberration of his brother's memory. Now we have Wonder Man, and he's not happy with the return of Wonder Man either. So he decides to put both of these characters on trial. He easily defeats the Avengers. In this issue, we sort of go into the past and origins of Wonder Man, Vision, Grim Reaper himself. How the hell Wonder Man came back from the dead. We discover that Wonder Man doesn't have eyes. He's just like this weird energy manifestation. But the thing is, like, Grim Reaper is able to defeat the Avengers. He puts everyone's lives in danger. And once he just sort of gets what he wanted to say off his chest and go through this stupid trial, Wonder Man just gets up and beats the living shit out of him. Like, Wonder Man could have done this from the first moment. He could have stopped this whole situation that was very dangerous for everyone. No, he just let this trial take place in the first place. Just totally flattens Grim Reaper. We have the end of the story, but all these issues from the 70s, like all old school comic books, especially like Avengers and X-Men, they're always a fun ride. They're an interesting peek to the mindset of the people of the times. And I hope you guys like this video. See you guys next time. Bye.